From Neil Young Street, classic.
1990.
Yeah.
1990.
The Scott B. Sympathy Band, I guess we call that.
Yeah, we just called it Scott B. Sympathy, the band. I was Scott B., but then later people started calling me Scott B. Sympathy or Mr. Sympathy, and I couldn't get rid of it. And then we tried to, even when we got signed to True North for the Long Way Down album, we called the band The Sympathy because Scott B. Sympathy was a problematic name.
Mm-hmm.
Like even when we'd go to gigs, sometimes on the sign or whatever, it would say Scott B. Symphony. Quite often, or in the press.
And when's that album coming out with the Toronto Symphony, the collabo?
Well, I am working on a 8-song cycle about the history of Massey Harris that I want to kind of do at places like Hughes Room and Soft Cedars. It's called the Grand River Suite, the Massey Harris Connection. And I'm attempting to write 3 pieces of music that are instrumental and do them with like a string quartet that I would maybe
That'd be great.
hire from the Brantford Symphony Orchestra. So we're thinking about this, and we're trying to get some money grant-wise for that.
So got Ontario Council written all over.
And I
it.
would use the Massey Harris Band for it, and we'd do a little tour and have background shots of the Grand River and some funny songs about the history of Massey Harris Company and Brantford, and yeah.
Come and see us when that happens.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, please. And I'm just looking at this record. I can't believe you got Ian Blurton,
Yeah.
yourself, Gord,
Yeah.
John Bora,
A beardless Ian Blurton.
yeah, and Willie P. on one track.
Willie P. Bennett. I met him back then. I was a huge fan, and he sort of became an amazing mentor for me and was on videos on CBC, came to Brantford for interviews with me. It just heartwarming what he did for me musically.
What this whole scene is like a unique thing that.
And then lately, I have to say, I've got to know Joe Hall, who's from that same time period, and the community of folk musicians in Canada. And I've got to know him well. And he comes down once a month from Peterborough and plays at the Transac on the Transac Club on the second Saturday of the month from 6 till 9.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough to be able to sit in and play sideman for him.
I came and saw you one night.
Yeah, and it's hard work. It's hard, but it's great.
Tony Quarrington sitting there, letting off the steam.
And then last weekend, I was lucky enough. I went to my hometown, and Mr. David Essig came in and played at the coffee house there at the train station. And he's living out west now. He produced Willie P.'s pivotal first 3 albums, and he invited me up, and I sang a Willie P. Bennett song with him. So now I've played with all my 3 mentors. That when I was a teenager in the basement in Brantford, I was listening to their records. So it's very cool.
And there's this huge chunk of history that exists.
Yeah.
Around this core of 50 musicians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The history comes with the age, I guess.
Yes, it does. So let's have a little bit of Massey Harris live. What do you think?
Okay,
we've had the CD, we've had the vinyl. I think this is probably the...
Yeah, I actually brought a whole bunch of stuff today, and for some reason, the only Massey Harris demo I had was at my studio, and I couldn't drop by there because it was 180 degrees below zero out. Mm-hmm. So I'll play a song live that we're going to record.
Okay, before you get going, can you move that green chair just a little because it bumped against the body of the guitar a couple times?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was getting exuberant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, this song, one of my newer songs, it's called Standoff.
Scott B. on Corby's Orbit.
Standoff like the Old West on a broken down color TV. It's in black and white, but it don't seem right, even at 2:45. Should I turn it off or turn the volume down? The sun's in my eyes, I can't really see. It's a standoff. Are you waiting for me? They say the time fades pretty pictures, but you wouldn't recognize me. I've been living on theft, I got 2 bullets left, scaring the hell out of me. Should I put my guns down and get out of this town? The sun's in my eyes, I can't really see. It's a standoff. Are you waiting for me? All right. This is where the mandolin comes in, and then the harmonica. And a little bit of saxophone at the end. And then we turn on an old vintage radio, and whatever it says, we just kind of go, okay. Sometimes it's therapeutic. It's a standoff, like the old West, on a broken down color TV. It's in black and white, but it don't seem right. Even at 2:45, I'm still up. Should I turn it down, turn the volume off? The sun's in my eyes, I can't really see. It's a standoff. Are you waiting for me? It's a standoff, baby. That's Gorge Park. Are you waiting for me? Wait for it.
Nice tremolo.
Thank you. That's the manual tremolo. I was shaking the guitar back and forth in front of the microphone.
Okay, so if you don't mind me praising you up just for a minute, you got a plane of quality in your voice that I don't think anybody else has got, and it's distinctly you and Southern Ontario and all that.
What I got. What you hear is what you get.
Yeah,
it's all in there. I think What I call it a world-weary voice, because one time I had a job a few years ago. I was managing ushers at Roy Thompson Hall, but I guess I wished I was out gigging more, because somebody asked me directions or some stupid question, and the way I answered them, they said, "Nice world-weary voice." So I go with that now. I've got a world-weary voice.
keeping that one.
Yeah.
You're also a pretty fine guitar player when somebody else is singing a tune.
Well, I've always had really good guitar players around me. I always get people that can do the job better than me when I do stuff, and let them do their thing. But I've really honed in and worked on my guitar playing in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hear the early records and I think I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Like, how did that come out so good? And all I can think of is they all are collaborations, and that's the only time you get anything good, anyways.
Yep.
Or for me, anyways.
You surprise yourself a
It's
little.
who I work with. Like in this band now, like Gord Cumming, we are truly a duo, and he brings a lot to the table as far as the background nuance vocals and all his playing. He kind of plays like Louis Armstrong, where he'll play leads through my lead vocals, but it kind of works and opens up the music.
So people can catch all this by going on your Facebook page.
I'm on Facebook as Scott Bradshaw, and there's a picture of me with a hat and sunglasses and old grizzled look. You'll see me. And there's a Massey Harris Facebook page called Massey Harris.
Okay.
And you go on there, and it's mostly about tractors and people from India phoning up and wanting tractor parts to an old Massey Harris tractor. But, there's a little music on there, too.
And if they want to find out the secret location of tomorrow's show,
they can personal message me, or if they know me, phone me, or get in touch with Gord Cumming, or we're all out there.
Okay.
There's 7 of us.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to have a big party and try to raise money, and it's sort of I have trouble asking for money for to do my art, but this time, because it's a collaboration of everyone, I haven't had any trouble, and People have been amazingly generous.
What time are you going to get going tomorrow?
I'm going to open the doors at 8, and Massey Harris is going to do a short set, about a 50-minute set at 10:30. And then later, after midnight, I'm going to have a curated jam where I have a pit band and some local singers are going to come up and do a song or two. It'll be a lot of fun. We go to about 4 in the morning.
And then the sun comes up.
Yeah, and then I go to church, actually.
A good one. Okay. So we got one more event that you have to tell me about.
Well, this is sort of a sad one, and but people have lived their lives, and they live their lives how they live them, and I don't judge because I quit drinking a few years ago now, and it's given me a new lease, but I still hang in the alcohol culture. But my poor friend Richard Karstens, who used to be in a band called the Whammy, and in a few other amazing bands, Sun Zoom Spark. And he played the lead in Jesus Christ Superstar when we did it on Queen Street 20 years ago with local musicians. And he was just an amazing musician. And he was in a band called Madhouse when I first moved to town, who did a thrilling version of Lou Reed's Heroin. That just the intensity of it blew me away, how these 19-year-olds could do this. And upstairs at the Upper Lip on Yonge Street in 1981 when I first moved to town.
You're setting off some neurons.
So
there.
I knew him for that long, and he got in a bad way, and he died early. He died at age 56, and I was the same age at the time. This is last year, and so he had a lot of friends in the community, and we finally, the tears have stopped enough that a few of his friends have arranged a tribute to Richard, it's called, at the Horseshoe Tavern on this Sunday night, starting at 8 o'clock, I believe. And there'll be all kinds of bands doing all his songs. And me and Gord were asked to do one. We're going to be the opening act right at 8 o'clock because we have to somehow be at Duke of Gloucester on Yonge by 9. But we're going to do this song, Wine, Women, and Song. And it's Wine and Women, it's called. And I can't believe how amazing that he wrote this song.
Thanks, Scott B, for sharing all this history with us and your
so
talents.
great. Thank you, Paul.
Okay, we'll see you again.
Okay, bye.